The world lost a giant, a legend. Congressman John Lewis of Georgia, from his earliest days when he was a college student, was an activist, was someone who fought hard for racial justice, who participated in the earliest lunch counter protests, in the freedom rides, was the last living speaker at the 1963 March on Washington. He was a giant. But he was also an incredibly just average, normal, kind, generous, open-hearted person. Not the average person. He was a remarkable person. He was a living saint. And I have a favorite memory of him here in Wilmington when he came and spent a whole day with us. We went to Eastside Charter and he talked about his book, his graphic novel, March, with a group of elementary school students. We had a round table with young civic and community leaders. And then we did a town hall. And at every one of these events, he just was that balance that always made me want more time with him and always made me want to be a better man. Because John Lewis managed to be fierce and determined and focused about racial injustice, about demanding a better country, about asking us to live up to those ideals that we all pledge allegiance to, but that our country has never fully delivered on. But individually and in person, he was also capable of being just an average guy, just funny and engaging and humble and easygoing. He told kids, read more when they asked for his most important advice. He told young leaders, believe in yourself and be kind to yourself and keep fighting for justice. And then to the whole big community, he said, it's good to get into trouble. There is such a thing as good trouble. And don't be too concerned about fitting in and following the rules. When you see something wrong, act like it. He had a lot of simple but wise and powerful sayings, and more than anything, he lived a life that changed America. One of the things that impressed me most about John was, if you think about where he grew up, in Troy, Alabama, in poverty, in the rural deep South, in the middle of Jim Crow, the idea that he had any hope, had any reason to believe our country could be better, and that he then put everything on the line, risked his whole life, his security, his health, was arrested, was beaten over and over, and yet found it in himself to keep working, to keep forgiving, to keep embracing those who were willing to change. That he did that over and over, year in and year out, with a sense of grace and joy, was really inspiring. I got to march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma with him arm in arm. I went back to that reenactment with him several times. And it was always striking to me to have him pause halfway through the bridge and tell the group of us who were there with him what it was like as a young man leading a group of peaceful protesters as they crested the hill of that bridge to see down the other side and realize that there was a wall of state troopers and deputies and folks who were there to do them harm, and that he had the courage to keep marching anyway. And it was, for me, inspiring to be with him in South Africa on a trip we took together with two of the survivors of the Charleston massacre, the Mother Emanuel massacre in Charleston, South Carolina. We went to South Africa to meet with folks who were heroes of the liberation struggle there, and to be with John Lewis as he was talking with Desmond Tutu was a powerful and memorable moment. Two great warriors who'd done so much to make our world better. Let me just close by saying this. You know, part of me thinks we won't soon see the likes of John Lewis again, that he was a living saint who won't ever be replicated in our times. And I can almost hear John saying, that's not true. That this moment, that this time will call forth a new generation of leaders in our country, young people, activists who hope, who believe that America can be better and will demand that it be better. And will find a way to do so with the kind of generous but insistent heart that drove John Lewis.